Are you sacrificing your own health and well-being to take care of everyone else, believing that's what good parents and grandparents are supposed to do? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 8 self-care priorities that will determine whether your senior years are filled with independence and joy or dependence and suffering. And the 6th one, it's the mistake that sends more seniors to nursing homes than any medical condition, yet it's completely preventable starting today. Barbara, 72, from Nashville, Tennessee, spent years caring for her husband, cooking for her adult children, and babysitting her grandchildren weekly. When she collapsed from exhaustion at a family dinner, her doctor told her something that shocked everyone. "Barbara, you've been so busy caring for others that you've completely neglected yourself, and now your health is in serious danger." Priority 1. Stop skipping your own medical appointments. If you're canceling or postponing your own doctor appointments because you're too busy helping family members with their needs, you're making a fatal mistake that could cost you years of your life. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, preventable diseases account for nearly 40% of all deaths in seniors over 65. And the primary reason these diseases go undetected is missed routine screenings and checkups. Research from Johns Hopkins Medicine confirms that early detection through regular medical appointments increases survival rates for major diseases by 50 to 90%, depending on the specific condition. Yet millions of seniors skip these life-saving appointments every year because they prioritize everyone else's needs above their own health. Your annual physical, cancer screenings, eye exams, dental checkups, and specialist appointments aren't optional luxuries you can reschedule indefinitely. They're essential preventive care that catches problems while they're still treatable, rather than waiting until symptoms become severe enough to land you in the emergency room. Think honestly about your own behavior over the past 2 years. Have you skipped your annual physical because you were busy caring for a sick spouse or helping adult children with their problems? Have you postponed your mammogram, colonoscopy, or prostate screening because those appointments felt less urgent than your family's immediate demands on your time and energy? These aren't harmless delays, they're life-threatening decisions that allow cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and other serious conditions to progress silently in your body without detection or treatment. Medical research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association shows that each year of delayed cancer screening increases mortality risk by 10 to 15%. Which means a 2-year delay in a routine colonoscopy could literally double your risk of dying from colon cancer that could have been caught and removed as a harmless polyp. The consequences of skipping medical appointments extend far beyond misdiagnoses. When you finally do seek care after ignoring symptoms or avoiding checkups, conditions have often progressed to advanced stages requiring more aggressive treatment, longer recovery times, higher costs, and significantly worse outcomes. Studies from the American Cancer Society reveal that cancers detected through routine screening have 5-year survival rates above 90%, while the same cancers detected after symptoms appear have survival rates dropping below 30%. Your family needs you healthy and alive far more than they need you available for every request and obligation that comes up. Here's what you must do immediately. Take out your calendar right now and schedule every medical appointment you need for the entire year ahead, including your annual physical, all age-appropriate cancer screenings, dental cleanings, eye exams, and any specialist follow-ups your doctor has recommended. Russell, 69, from Omaha, skipped 2 consecutive years of medical checkups while caring for his sick wife, believing his health could wait. When he finally went for an appointment, his doctor found advanced colon cancer that could have been caught early through routine screening and treated successfully. Your health appointments aren't optional, and they're not negotiable. Schedule them now. Put them in your calendar as commitments you cannot and will not break. And inform your family that these appointments take priority over their non-emergency requests. Priority 2. Prioritize your sleep. over late-night family obligations. Are you staying up late at night, helping adult children with their problems, answering phone calls at all hours, or babysitting grandchildren overnight at the direct expense of your own sleep and recovery? If you're consistently getting fewer than 7 hours of sleep because family obligations are cutting into your rest time, you're accelerating your aging process and increasing your risk of serious disease and early death. Research from the National Institute on Aging has established that sleep deprivation in seniors over 60 leads to accelerated cognitive decline, with chronic poor sleep increasing dementia risk by 30% compared to those who maintain healthy sleep patterns. Mayo Clinic studies show that inadequate sleep weakens immune function by up to 50%, dramatically increasing vulnerability to infections, slowing wound healing, and reducing your body's ability to fight off diseases including cancer. Beyond cognitive and immune effects, sleep deprivation increases fall risk by impairing balance and reaction time, raises blood pressure and heart disease risk, accelerates the development of diabetes, and contributes to depression and anxiety disorders that are already more common in older adults. Your body performs critical repair and maintenance functions during sleep that simply cannot happen while you're awake and active. During deep sleep, your brain clears out toxic waste products that accumulate during the day, including the amyloid proteins directly linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your immune system produces infection-fighting antibodies and cytokines during sleep. Your muscles repair and rebuild. Your cardiovascular system recovers from the day's stress. When you sacrifice sleep to accommodate family requests and obligations, you're literally preventing your body from performing the maintenance work it needs to keep you healthy and functional. Think about what you're currently doing. Answering phone calls from adult children at 11 p.m. to discuss their relationship problems when you should be sleeping, staying up past midnight babysitting grandchildren because it's more convenient for your daughter's work schedule, or lying awake worrying about family members' problems instead of getting the rest your body desperately needs. The long-term health consequences of chronic sleep deprivation are severe and well documented in medical literature. Harvard Medical School research shows that seniors who consistently sleep fewer than 6 hours per night have mortality rates 12% higher than those sleeping 7 to 8 hours, even after controlling for other health factors. Poor sleep quality and insufficient sleep duration are independent risk factors for heart attack and stroke, with some studies showing doubled risk among chronic poor sleepers. Your brain's ability to form new memories and maintain cognitive function depends absolutely on adequate sleep, and research published in JAMA Neurology demonstrates measurable brain shrinkage on MRI scans in seniors with chronic sleep problems, particularly in regions responsible for memory and executive function. Here's your immediate action plan starting tonight. Establish a firm bedtime of 9 or 10 p.m., depending on when you need to wake up, giving yourself a full 8 hours of sleep opportunity every single night. Communicate clearly to your family members that you are unavailable for phone calls, texts, or visits after your designated bedtime, except for genuine medical emergencies. Turn off your phone or put it on Do Not Disturb mode after your bedtime, and resist the temptation to check messages or respond to non-urgent communications. If family members pressure you or guilt you about this boundary, remind them that protecting your sleep is protecting your ability to be there for them in the long term. Charlene, 74, from Portland, sacrificed her sleep for years to provide late-night childcare and be available whenever her adult children needed her. Her doctor eventually linked her chronic health problems, including high blood pressure, memory issues, and frequent infections, directly to years of sleep deprivation. Protect your sleep starting tonight, because your health and your life depend on getting adequate rest every single night. Priority 3. Maintain your own social connections outside family. If your entire social life revolves exclusively around family obligations and you've gradually abandoned friendships, hobbies, and personal interests over the years, You're setting yourself up for devastating social isolation and accelerated decline. Harvard Medical School conducted an 80-year longitudinal study tracking thousands of individuals throughout their entire lives, and the research revealed that the quality and diversity of social connections is the single strongest predictor of health, happiness, and longevity in older adults, even more important than cholesterol levels or blood pressure. The key finding that surprises most people is that having diverse social connections outside of family relationships provides unique protective benefits that family connections alone cannot replace. When your social world contracts to include only family members, you lose the cognitive stimulation, emotional support, and sense of identity that come from maintaining friendships and participating in community activities that exist independently of your family roles. Social isolation is not just an emotional problem. It's a serious medical condition with measurable physical effects on your body and brain. According to research published by the National Institutes of Health, socially isolated seniors have a 50% increased risk of developing dementia compared to those who maintain active social lives with diverse connections. The mechanism involves reduced cognitive stimulation, as interacting with different people in various contexts exercises your brain in ways that family interactions alone cannot provide. Beyond dementia risk, social isolation increases your risk of depression by 60%, doubles your risk of heart disease, weakens immune function, raises blood pressure, and increases overall mortality risk by amounts comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes daily, according to American Psychological Association research. Think carefully about what's happened to your social life over the past 5 years. Have you stopped attending your weekly card game, book club, or church group because you're always busy with family obligations? Do you decline invitations from friends because you feel guilty taking time for yourself when family members might need you? Have you given up hobbies and activities you genuinely enjoyed because they feel selfish compared to helping with grandchildren or supporting adult children through their various crises? These aren't minor lifestyle choices. They're dangerous. Patterns that are isolating you and accelerating your physical and cognitive decline while simultaneously eroding your sense of identity and purpose beyond your family role. Your immediate action requires reclaiming your social life starting this week. Identify one non-family social activity, whether it's reconnecting with an old friend for weekly coffee, joining a senior center activity, attending a religious service, or participating in a hobby group, and schedule it on your calendar as a non-negotiable weekly appointment. Protect this time as fiercely as you would protect a doctor's appointment, because maintaining social connections is just as important for your health as medical care. When family members request your time during your designated social activities, practice saying no without guilt or lengthy explanations. Vernon, 76, from Cleveland, gave up his beloved weekly card game with longtime friends to be constantly available for his adult children's needs. 2 years later, he was diagnosed with severe depression that his doctor directly linked to social isolation and loss of meaningful connections outside family. Your friendships and social activities aren't luxuries you can sacrifice indefinitely. They're essential medicine for your brain and body. Reconnect with them immediately, because every week you remain isolated is another week of unnecessary decline. Priority 4. Keep your own financial independence and control. Have you given away financial control to adult children who promise to help manage your money? Or have you started depleting your savings to rescue family members from their financial problems, believing you're helping them when you're actually endangering your own future security? If you've transferred account access, loaned substantial money you can't afford to lose, or regularly pay bills for capable adult children, you're making a dangerous mistake that could leave you impoverished and dependent in your final years. Research from the National Council on Aging shows that financial abuse of seniors by family members is one of the fastest growing forms of elder abuse, with adult children and other relatives accounting for nearly 60% of financial exploitation cases. Even when there's no malicious intent, financial stress caused by giving away money you need for your own care is a major health risk factor for seniors. Studies published by the American Psychological Association demonstrate that financial insecurity in older adults correlates with significantly higher rates of depression, anxiety, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. Your financial security in your senior years isn't about being wealthy. It's about having enough resources to afford your own medical care, housing, food, and basic needs without becoming dependent on others or government assistance programs. When you give away money to help adult children with their mortgages, car payments, business ventures, or other financial problems, you're reducing your own safety net and your ability to afford the care you'll inevitably need as you age. Think about the reality of healthcare costs. Medicare doesn't cover everything, and out-of-pocket medical expenses for seniors average $6,000 to $8,000 annually, according to recent data. If you need assisted living or long-term care, costs can exceed $4,000 to $8,000 per month, depending on your location and care needs. When you've depleted your savings helping family members, where will that money come from when you need it? The consequences of losing financial independence are severe and often irreversible. Seniors who run out of money frequently end up in lower quality care facilities, unable to afford private rooms or specialized services, dependent on Medicaid rather than being able to choose their own care arrangements. Financial stress increases your risk of heart attack and stroke by 30 to 40%, according to cardiovascular research. The shame and anxiety of financial insecurity accelerate cognitive decline and dramatically increase depression risk. Once your money is gone, it's extremely difficult or impossible to rebuild savings in your 70s and 80s when you're living on fixed retirement income. Here's what you must do immediately to protect yourself. Maintain separate bank accounts that family members cannot access or withdraw from without your explicit approval for each transaction. If you've already given someone power of attorney or account access, consult with an elder law attorney this week about whether those arrangements are truly in your best interest. Learn to say no to financial requests from family members, recognizing that adult children are responsible for their own financial decisions and that rescuing them from consequences doesn't help them learn responsibility. When family members ask for money, offer emotional support and advice instead, but keep your financial resources protected for your own future needs. Mildred, 70, from Dallas, gave her son $40,000 for a business investment that ultimately failed. Now she cannot afford the medical care and home modifications she needs, and she relies on Medicaid instead of the private care she could have afforded if she'd protected her savings. Protect your financial security today, because you'll absolutely need those resources tomorrow, and your family will benefit far more from having you financially secure than they'll benefit from money you give them now at the expense of your future. Priority 5. Continue regular exercise, even when family demands time. If you've stopped exercising regularly because you're too busy fulfilling family obligations and responding to constant requests for your time and assistance, you're trading temporary helpfulness for permanent disability and loss of independence. Research from the American Heart Association has established that regular physical activity is the single most important modifiable factor for maintaining independence in older adults. Yet millions of seniors abandon their exercise routines when family demands increase. According to studies published by the University of California, San Diego, seniors who maintain consistent exercise patterns have 40% lower mortality rates and remain independent an average of 5 to 7 years longer than sedentary seniors, even when controlling for other health factors. Exercise isn't optional recreation for seniors. It's essential medicine that prevents the muscle loss, bone deterioration, balance problems, and cardiovascular decline that lead directly to falls, fractures, nursing home placement, and early death. The biological reality is unforgiving. If you stop moving regularly, your body begins a rapid decline that accelerates with each passing week. Adults over 60 lose approximately 3% of muscle mass per year when inactive, and that muscle loss directly translates to weakness, poor balance, and dramatically increased fall risk. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that seniors who stop exercising experience measurable declines in cardiovascular function within just 2 weeks, with significant loss of endurance, increased blood pressure, and reduced heart efficiency. Your bones also weaken rapidly without the mechanical stress that exercise provides, increasing fracture risk by 30 to 40% within just 6 months of becoming sedentary, according to osteoporosis research. Think honestly about what's happened to your physical activity over the past year. Have you stopped your morning walks because you're providing daily childcare for grandchildren? Have you quit your fitness class or gym membership because family obligations fill all your available time? Are you spending entire days sitting while you help family members instead of moving your body the way you know you should? These patterns are destroying your physical function and independence faster than you realize, and the decline may become irreversible if you don't take immediate action. To reclaim your exercise time, your exercise routine must become non-negotiable starting today. Block out 30 minutes every single morning for physical activity before family obligations begin and before anyone can make requests of your time. Choose activities appropriate for your fitness level, whether that's walking, swimming, resistance exercises, yoga, or fitness classes designed for seniors. Communicate to your family that your morning exercise time is as important as a medical appointment and cannot be interrupted or rescheduled to accommodate their needs. When family members try to guilt you about prioritizing exercise, remind them that maintaining your strength and independence is what allows you to help them at all, and that sacrificing your physical health serves no one in the long term. Kenneth, 73 from Phoenix, stopped his regular morning walks to provide daily childcare for his daughter. Within 1 year, he fell twice, fractured his hip during the second fall, and lost his ability to live independently. Your exercise time isn't selfish indulgence, it's essential health maintenance. Protect it immediately and recommit to moving your body every single day, because your independence depends entirely on the strength and function you maintain. Priority 6. Set clear boundaries with family requests and expectations. Do you say yes to virtually every family request, regardless of the cost to your own health and well-being, because you fear being seen as selfish or uncaring by your children and grandchildren? If you're unable or unwilling to set boundaries around what you will and won't do for family members, you're on a path toward caregiver burnout, serious health problems, and eventual collapse. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that chronic stress from excessive caregiving responsibilities increases all-cause mortality risk by 63% in seniors, with cardiovascular disease being the primary cause. Cleveland Clinic studies demonstrate that caregivers who provide intensive help without adequate boundaries and self-care time have 40% higher rates of heart disease, significantly elevated blood pressure, suppressed immune function, and dramatically increased rates of depression and anxiety disorders. Your inability to say no isn't virtue or love, it's a health risk that's slowly killing you. The fundamental problem is that many seniors, especially those who were raised in generations that emphasized self-sacrifice and duty, believe that good parents and grandparents should always be available and helpful regardless of personal cost. This belief system is not only outdated, it's medically dangerous. According to research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, the concept of unlimited availability to family causes measurable physiological stress responses, including elevated cortisol levels, increased inflammation markers, higher blood pressure, and disrupted sleep patterns that persist chronically and cause cumulative damage to multiple organ systems. Your body is not designed to sustain constant high-level stress, and chronic activation of stress responses accelerates aging at the cellular level while increasing risk of virtually every major disease. Think about your current situation with brutal honesty. Are you providing daily or near-daily childcare when you need rest and time for your own health? Are you running constant errands for adult children who are perfectly capable of handling their own responsibilities? Do you host every family gathering at your home, even though the preparation and cleanup exhaust you? Are you financially supporting capable adults who should be managing their own finances? Do you answer every phone call and respond to every text message immediately regardless of what you're doing or how tired you are? These patterns represent a complete absence of healthy boundaries, and they're destroying your health while simultaneously preventing your adult children from developing full independence and self-reliance. Here's what must change immediately. Start practicing the word no without elaborate explanations or justifications, understanding that no is a complete sentence and you don't owe anyone a detailed explanation for protecting your own health. When family members make requests, take time to consider whether fulfilling that request genuinely serves everyone's best interests, or whether it primarily serves their convenience at your expense. Recognize that saying yes to everything doesn't make you a better parent or grandparent. It makes you an enabler who's teaching adult children that they can avoid responsibility by making demands on your time and energy. Learn to offer alternative solutions instead of automatic agreement, such as suggesting that your daughter hire a babysitter rather than expecting free daily childcare, or recommending that your son research his own problem rather than expecting you to solve it for him. Joyce, 71, from Atlanta, never said no to her 3 adult children's constant requests and demands on her time. She suffered a stress-induced heart attack that her cardiologist directly attributed to caregiver exhaustion and chronic stress from inability to set appropriate boundaries. Boundaries aren't betrayal of your family, they're protection of your health and your ability to be there for genuine emergencies. Set them clearly and firmly starting today, because your survival depends on protecting yourself from excessive and unreasonable demands. Priority 7. Feed yourself nutritious meals consistently. If you're spending all your time and energy cooking elaborate meals for family members while grabbing whatever is quick, easy, or convenient for yourself, you're slowly starving your body of the essential nutrients it needs to maintain health and function. Research from Harvard School of Public Health demonstrates that malnutrition is surprisingly common in seniors, affecting up to 40% of community-dwelling older adults, according to some estimates. And it frequently goes unrecognized because people assume seniors eating any food are adequately nourished. The National Institute on Aging has established that nutritional needs actually increase with age in several important categories, particularly protein, calcium, vitamin D, and B vitamins, yet many seniors consume inadequate amounts because they're too busy caring for others to prepare proper meals for themselves. Poor nutrition accelerates muscle loss, weakens bones, impairs immune function, slows wound healing, increases infection risk, and contributes directly to frailty and loss of independence. Your body requires adequate high-quality protein to maintain muscle mass. and research shows that seniors need significantly more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults, approximately 25 to 30 grams per meal, according to current recommendations from nutrition researchers. When you're eating leftover cold pizza, cereal or toast while you prepare balanced meals for grandchildren or other family members, you're providing your body with calories, but not the protein, vitamins and minerals it absolutely requires for maintenance and repair. Think about your typical eating patterns. Are you skipping breakfast entirely because you're rushing to help family members with their morning routines? Are you eating whatever remains after serving everyone else rather than ensuring you get adequate portions of protein and vegetables? Are you choosing convenience foods that require no preparation because you're too tired from cooking for others to make something nutritious for yourself? The health consequences of chronic poor nutrition in seniors are severe and progressive. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that protein deficiency accelerates sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that leads directly to falls, fractures, and loss of independence. Inadequate nutrition weakens your immune system, making you more susceptible to infections and slowing recovery from illness or injury. Poor nutrition contributes to cognitive decline, with some research suggesting links between nutritional deficiencies and increased dementia risk. Bone health deteriorates rapidly without adequate calcium and vitamin D, dramatically increasing fracture risk in falls. Here's your new non-negotiable rule, starting with your very next meal. Prepare your own nutritious meal first every single day before cooking anything for anyone else. Your plate must include adequate protein from sources like eggs, fish, chicken, beans, Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese at every meal, along with vegetables and healthy fats. Prioritize feeding yourself properly, even if it means serving simpler meals to family or letting capable adults prepare their own food. If mobility or energy limitations make cooking difficult, explore meal delivery services designed for seniors. Ask family members to prepare meals for you rather than you always cooking for them. Or investigate senior nutrition programs in your community that provide prepared meals. Calvin, 75, from Seattle, ate irregularly and poorly while ensuring his grandchildren received home-cooked meals whenever they visited. His doctor eventually identified severe nutritional deficiencies causing his chronic fatigue, muscle weakness, and frequent infections. Feed yourself properly, starting with your very next meal, because your body cannot maintain health without adequate nutrition, and you cannot help anyone if you're malnourished and declining. Priority 8. Pursue personal interests and hobbies regularly. If you've given up activities you genuinely enjoy and find meaningful because there's no time left after fulfilling family obligations and requests, you're losing your sense of identity, purpose, and joy in living. Research from Rush University Medical Center in Chicago shows that seniors who maintain regular engagement in hobbies and personal interests have 50% lower rates of cognitive decline and significantly reduced dementia risk compared to those who abandon personal pursuits. The protective mechanism involves keeping your brain actively engaged in learning and creative activities that provide cognitive stimulation beyond the routine tasks of daily living and family caregiving. According to studies published by the National Institutes of Health, maintaining hobbies and personal interests also protects against depression by providing sources of joy, accomplishment, and identity that exist independently of your family roles and caregiving responsibilities. The loss of personal interests and hobbies represents a gradual erosion of self that many seniors don't recognize until they've completely disappeared into their family caregiver role. When every hour of your day revolves around meeting family needs and responding to family requests, you lose touch with who you are as an individual beyond mother, father, grandmother, or grandfather. This loss of identity contributes directly to depression, feelings of emptiness, and loss of purpose that are epidemic among older adults who define themselves solely through service to family. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that seniors who maintain strong individual identities and pursue personal interests report higher life satisfaction, better mental health, lower depression rates, and greater sense of meaning and purpose compared to those whose lives revolve exclusively around family obligations. Think about what you've given up over the years. Did you used to paint, garden, play a musical instrument, read extensively, work on crafts, play golf, fish, or engage in any other activity that brought you genuine joy and satisfaction? When did you stop doing those things? And what was the reason? If your answer is that family demands left no time for personal pursuits, you need to recognize that sacrificing everything you love doesn't make you a better family member. It makes you a diminished person with nothing left to give. Your grandchildren benefit far more from seeing you as a complete person with interests and passions than they benefit from having you available every single moment to serve their needs. Your immediate action requires reclaiming your personal life starting this week. Choose one activity that you genuinely enjoy and that feeds your soul, whether it's a hobby you've abandoned or something you've always wanted to try. Schedule 2 dedicated hours every single week on your calendar for this activity, and protect that time from family interference with the same determination you'd protect a medical appointment. If family members object or try to guilt you into sacrificing your personal time, remind them that maintaining your interests and identity is essential for your mental health, and that you're not abandoning them by spending a few hours per week on yourself. Iris, 68, from Boston, gave up her beloved pottery hobby to provide full-time childcare for her daughter's children. Within 18 months, she developed severe depression requiring professional intervention that her therapist directly linked to loss of identity and purpose beyond the grandmother role. Your personal interests and hobbies keep you mentally engaged, emotionally balanced, and connected to your own identity. Pursue them actively starting this week, because you deserve to be a complete person, not just a caregiver. You've just learned 8 self-care priorities that separate seniors who maintain independence and thrive from those who sacrifice themselves into decline and disability. Keeping your medical appointments, protecting your sleep, maintaining diverse friendships, securing your finances, continuing regular exercise, setting firm boundaries with family, eating nutritious meals consistently, and pursuing personal interests that bring you joy. The fundamental truth is simple and non-negotiable. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's essential for your survival and your long-term ability to be there for your family when they truly need you. If you've been neglecting yourself to care for family members, leave a comment right now telling us which of these 8 priorities you're going to start protecting immediately, because your commitment might inspire another senior to finally put themselves first. If this message could save a fellow senior from sacrificing their health unnecessarily, hit that like button and share this video with someone who desperately needs to hear this truth. Which priority hit home hardest for you and challenged you most? Comment below, because your honest story might give another senior the permission they need to finally protect themselves. Subscribe for more direct, honest, life-saving information designed specifically for seniors who deserve to thrive with independence and joy, not merely survive while serving everyone else.